You know, I really do think that over the years, I have tried, communicated, used words, plain English. Often, my sentence structure has been above par. My understanding of the meanings of the words that I use has been quite self-evident in the arguments I've been trying to put across to portray a point of view. And then occasionally we get these moments of complexity, a challenge, an issue, a problem, a place in someone's mental structure that they decided to express on the wonderful YouTube comment section. We're talking about, of course, a comment on one of my older videos. One of my older videos to do with a certain variety of spiritual experience. Obviously, my point of view has always been, and in most of the videos I do point this out, that an experience is an experience. An experience only proves you can have the experience and doesn't necessarily prove anything else. Because essentially I've been spending a lot of my time thinking about this and looking at the arguments and points of view of people who are from other points of view and persuasion. As well as, of course, trying to maintain my integrity and honesty, because I have had certain varieties of experience which blew me away, and I would be lying if I'd say that I hadn't had those varieties of strange experiences. Lying I would be. Says he again, trying to sound a little more like Yoda. And failing miserably. But that's beside the point. This one particular commenter, I don't actually know why I do this camera angle. You can see I've got the green screen behind me, but I just don't seem to get around to using it. I will one day, don't worry about it. Christmas is coming. Okay, not that that's connected to anything at all. Never mind, okay. The comment says, "Are you seriously urging people to do such a thing?" Now, of course, when you're typing quickly, you can mistype the occasional word, so I'm definitely not holding that against him, that a badly thought out comment would be using the word think, T-H-I-N-K, instead of T-H-I-N-G. Let's have a quick look at the keyboard. The G is in the middle, the K is on the far right hand side. Only accomplished and very well educated Magus can invoke and communicate safely with such thinks. Maybe this is someone whose letter G does not work properly on their keyboard, I don't know, but now instead of the word thing, we have the word think again. But let's just try and break down that one sentence one more time for those of you out there who are still in the old way of thinking, which has not been enlightened by the wisdom and superior intellect of myself. If I have a superior intellect, of course that is, I don't know. I mean, I've just got a different point of view. You can accept it or you can reject it. The fact of the matter is, it's my point of view and I'm explaining it. Only accomplished, so having done something an awful lot, and very well educated Magus. Right, what the fuck do you mean by a Magus? And what the fuck do you mean by very well educated? Educated in terms of what? Because often when you're talking about these religious groups, you're not talking about education, are you? You're talking about cultural indoctrination into a particular theological point of view. So, and also when you're talking about something which has no hard and fast empirical proof to it, how can you apply the word educated to such a thing? T-H-I-N-G. T-H-I-N-G. Only an accomplished and very well educated Magus can invoke and communicate safely with such thinks. Never try anything you doesn't know completely perfect. Okay, never try anything, no problem with that. You doesn't. No, it's you don't. Okay? And also there's an apostrophe between the N and the T if you wanted to use the word doesn't, but the word doesn't actually fit in this particular place. So it should be, never try anything you don't know completely. but completely perfect demonstrates lack of perfection and lack of complete understanding of English. And on top of that, if we're talking about a subject which you don't fully, or you can't fully get some kind of concrete understanding about, which is of course everything to do with any form of theological matter whatsoever, there's things we will never know, no matter what you believe, no matter what you don't believe. Sure, there's things out there which are true whether you believe them or whether you don't. There's things out there which aren't true whether you believe that they are true or not. Okay? But we don't know stuff. This is it. I don't know. I don't know. Just repeat after me. I don't know. Alright? And then you would have said probably the most wise thing you have ever said in your entire life. Okay? I don't know. Then it goes on to say, never try anything without perfect protection. Well, this is probably someone who does a circle of salt around them and thinks, the demons can't get past that, yes. Or draws their pentagrams and think, I have drawn a perfect barrier which no spirit can actually go beyond because I am the most powerful Magus in the world. I actually knew someone who was like that and actually thought like that. Alright? I mean, that would be like, those, was it King Kong movies, and they say, or those monster movies where they say they're like imprisoned the beast in this special titanium cage with like bulletproof glass and all the rest of that, and he won't be able to get through that. Yes, we're amazing technology over nature. Yes, we're successful. And hey, presto, the monster gets out. What does that tell you? It tells you that, sometimes the more you believe you are in a state of perfect whatever, you're not. You're not. There's no way of testing this stuff properly, conclusively, at all. And that's why the mentality of this person, it upsets me. Okay, this is why. This person is why. The thinking of this person is why. Anyone who explores consciousness-based phenomena is regarded as stupid, and therefore by inference the subject itself, which from my point of view is exploring and attempting to gain certain varieties of strange experiences, okay, will be regarded as being useless. Despite the fact that if anything happens in the natural world, anything, it has to be by its very nature natural. So we're not talking about a supernatural phenomena, we're talking about a natural phenomena like gravity, sunlight, alright, all these things. And it will never, ever, 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 ever be explored whilst people like that carry on being regarded as being the expression of the truth. They are occultism, they are spiritualism, that's what they are. Alright, and therefore spiritualism, occultism, all these, the search for all these strange experiences which are a part of all these weirdo religious schools, is going to be poo-poo forever because of this person, because of the views of this person, because of the people who hold these views, because of the religious lunatics who hold this kind of interpretation. This is upsetting in the extreme for me, personally. Right? And with all the education that we have, I carry on saying, middle school science, it teaches you the basics of how to think. It teaches you the basics of the standards of when something is true. This person must have skipped school by about the age 5. The comment goes on. There is no easy way. We are talking about ceremonial magic here, which is dangerous, like taking a dive into a sea full of sharks without an iron cage. So, untestable claims, hard truth claims, fear, grammatical inaccuracies, spelling mistakes, and then this person is bold enough to tell me, of all the people in the world, that what I do is like taking a dive into a sea full of sharks without an iron cage. The arrogance and stupidity of the more religious type of person in this movement is extreme. And it really upsets me. And it should upset everyone who watches this video and everyone who watches my channel. Everyone. This is the great and glorious, soon to be famous one day Nick Touch. And I'm going to take something for my digestion. Look after yourselves and keep cool. And don't let the nutters control the understanding of what is true in these movements. Please.